Good.
Welcome to Date with Danu, presented by Lanka Bell, right here on High TV, your luxury channel. Today on the show, I have the sisters who have really won my heart. Got to know them so many years ago, and up to date, if I meet them, it's like we are meeting for the first time. We have too many stories to say, to a point that some people have actually told us, can you all quiet things down a little bit? They are brilliantly talented, so humble, and they have so much to give in terms of their personality, talent, and lots of love. It all comes from a great place called home, where they are brought up so well. I'm happy to have the sisters, and to start things off, let's get the younger one in, Umaria. As I start the show, how is it when with Umara?
She's such a pain.
Yes. Now for 2 minutes, we told her to sit in another corner and wait. Welcome to the show. You look absolutely stunning. The reason why both of us are toned down is because one person decided to just steal the show. Can hear this person talking. She can be heard.
Yeah, she's all over the
jumping
place.
into the show, but never mind. Let's start things off. All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, very happy.
Yeah. And how has this year been? This year has brought in too much of the past year has been a roller coaster of emotions, joy, happiness, tears. It has been a balance of it all. How was it? How have you sort of coped up with it all?
I think if I would sum it up in one little sentence, it would have to be just my family. My family has been the backbone of it all. They've just been my source of strength. That's where I get all my strength from. It has been a roller coaster, like you said. But I am someone, I don't regret any of the experiences. I take and learn from it. So yeah, I'm in a very happy place, and I must say that I don't think I've ever been happy in my life.
The glow is real.
It is.
Yeah. So let's start things off. You know, Umaria got into a lot of heat in the last because of the fact that she comes from an industry that has entertained people. So you are kind of everyone's business. And unfortunately or fortunately, as much as joy that brings when you perform and entertain people, they are also inevitably a part of your life in some way or the other. And they all have an opinion and a story to say. How was it when you have to explain the fact that, you know, you're getting married for the second time and it became the story of everyone? And you, end of the day, you're still a girl, you're still a person who's going through the same emotions, and it drains you out. How did you sort of work through it?
Emotionally, I think I was a wreck, and my family actually helped me get through it, but I was a wreck. I went through severe depression, and I was just down in the dumps. But and it's also unfair because everybody has a personal and a professional life, and obviously in my career path, and it's expected to, because you're in the limelight, everybody wants to know and every meet and greet about your personal life, and that was sort of, it was too much for me because nobody actually knew the real story. But I decided to keep quiet about it because I didn't want to insult anyone, because if the truth came out, it wouldn't have I mean, I have nothing to hide. I can walk into any place with my head up. Yeah, exactly.
And tell the true story.
Exactly. But I maintained my silence because I think that's the respectable thing to do. And my parents have brought me up that way. Unfortunately for others, not everyone is brought up by parents like mine. So, yeah.
All right. Now, there's always a strength that comes in when the sisters get together. These two are a pair. They can talk in harmony. And if you're wondering why it took so long for me to come to season 2 to get them on the show, it's because Umara was just being difficult. Like, I can't make it today, I can't do that, I can't do Saturdays, I can't do Sundays, I can't do at 6 o'clock, I can't do at 8 o'clock. At last, we somehow convinced her to make it on a weekday as we shoot. It's time to see what Umara has to say on the other side, right here on Date with Danu. The lady who I'm going to speak to next, well, I've heard her sing many times, but there was this concert called Legends, and she sang a Whitney Houston song in a gold dress. She got people standing up on their feet to just give her a round of applause, and she was so young. She is a powerhouse when it comes to music, and when it comes to her personality, she is a rock. We'll see you on the other side with Umara.
Missing someone, love with all your heart. Missing someone.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's you, so but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it. No, it's my heart. Your shit out of your life. Don't make me tell you again.
Lanka Bell presents A Date with Danu in conversation with two stunning ladies. See, we had to give Umara the corner seat because look at her, man, trying to steal the whole show.
You clearly said
Dress
glam.
up. Yeah,
Dress
but
up,
I said that
okay?
was for reference for me. Welcome to the show and thanks for coming. Let's start off. This girl has gone through too many things in the last year, apart from all the issues and goods and bads. Your studio also caught fire.
Yes.
And we were supposed to do the shoot that day.
That was the reason. I was like, oh. So although we regretted the fact that, she was not here on the show, but it was a serious matter.
It was. Unfortunately, I was inside the building when the fire took place.
Why have you laughed?
It's a bad feeling.
Okay.
Now we can laugh about it. Yeah. But then,
But you melted all your shoes away.
Yeah, my entire wardrobe, not my entire wardrobe, but most of my wardrobe, and most importantly, my collection of jewelry, like bits and pieces that I've collected over the
That's
years.
why you feel bad because
That's
of
why
the
she's-
now.
She got the cloth for
Yeah,
it.
I got the cloth. No, it was more like sentimental value for me because each piece was like from every place in
That
the
you
world
have
that I went
travelled
to. Yeah,
across and-
every piece had a story behind it. So that
But
was.
you know, with that being said, all lives were saved. Let me
Yeah.
Yes,
just put
that's
that
the most
back.
important.
That's the best
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
But you were also kind of burnt in a few places.
Yes, I lost a bit of my hair.
Okay, so there's one instance. So we're looking at the building. It's like on fire, and I was like, "Oh, you have something here," and I just ripped it out. It was her skin.
Ayo.
Like, no, because I
Something
think it was that moment, it was so intense. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you can't
true.
feel anything at all. And she just kept ripping off things off my skin.
Yeah, I said, "Oh, you have
Because-
something," and it was skin. I was like, "Oh my god, just cover it up."
Yeah, and that was one of the worst scars that I had because she managed to rip it off.
Yeah.
Before it could even
Heal.
pop out properly.
Yeah,
or
true,
it
true, true,
would-
true.
If I could put
But
it
now
that way.
everything is sorted.
Everything is under control.
And tell me about your music school, and that's what has been keeping you busy. And how
you
was
know
it?
about my music school,
Yes.
Danu. You
I have been
visited my
there.
place. Yeah, so
Does Umaria teach there?
no, she doesn't.
She
But
doesn't.
then she's come for a couple of workshops.
Ah, okay.
Which is, I think, important for the kids, for the students. They need, what I try to do is, I'm going to die someday and I'm not going to take whatever that I have along with me. So whatever the experience that I have, the techniques that I have as a singer, as a vocalist, as a performer. So I want to, help out the newcomers, the ones who are trying to pursue music or become a singer. And so that's what I do at the school. And mainly it's the technical aspect of singing that I teach. And I personally conduct all the sessions. I have 320 students a week.
Wow.
That's
why you can never come on the
This
show.
is why I can't come, but we
But
finally did.
Tell me about there was a point when you went missing. You went abroad.
Yeah, that was when I was at my peak.
Yeah, I know.
was also working as an audio engineer at the BNS Studios and then doing the shows.
And you were the first audio engineer.
Youngest female audio at that time.
Okay,
but
yeah,
now,
we know that.
times have
Yeah.
changed and
And
all
more
of
people
that.
are getting into this trend,
Yes,
which is a good thing.
of course.
And when you left abroad at the peak, and how was it for you?
For me, Danu, I wanted a break. I was never at home most of the time and lack of sleep, maybe 1 hour sleep and back at the studio and 8-9 shows a day. That was like the best time in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, for music.
For music.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experience marriage and family life and all
live
of
that part
and
as
live
well.
that part. But, there were two things that happened. I got
And
to...
Vasaneta came out at that
Yeah,
time.
it was at the same time. So I released that song. He knows everything.
I know it.
Released it, and then I learned jazz music in Hong Kong for 7 years, and then
It's time to dry some laundry. It's time for Sticky City. All right. This segment is where we clear a lot of things. Questions that have been spoken about. All right, so your second marriage became the story of Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Lot of media officers also spoke to your ex-husband. And he said your current husband is his best friend. True? No.
No, not at all. And
Okay.
my husband, Dimitri, says, when was I ever his friend? I was never his friend. So, there. Out there.
But
Spot.
so there was never a time when it was like, oh, so you got to know him and then you dumped him to get to...
No. See, our upbringing is very different. Our parents didn't teach us to, lie or be dishonest or whatever.
Did you ever feel that you were too young when you got married?
Later on in life, yes, I did. I did. But with that being said, for me, Danu, I think it applies to the entire family. In a marriage or in any relationship, if you cheat on somebody, that's it for me. And I'm not a person to do such things. So see, there's a saying where if you and I were in a relationship, for an example.
What's going to happen?
Okay.
I'll tell you about it.
Okay, for an example, and we were together for years and then we split.
Yeah.
I would keep quiet. I know all your dirty secrets. I know everything about you. I'm not going to expose
them. And you'll
them.
respect that because
Exactly.
you all shared something very intimate and personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't point the finger at you just to cover my tracks. See, I can walk into any place with my head held high because I have nothing to hide and I don't have any guilt. People who talk obviously have a lot to hide. So.
All right. Now, Umara, when you left abroad to sort of get into jazz singing, of course, there isn't a genre that the two of y'all cannot cover, and that's a blessing that y'all have. Did you ever feel that you were not supported enough by the BNS family for you to shine and become a solo artist as well at the same time? Because your song took a long time and your album never came out, and what was the whole drama there?
There was actually, I wouldn't say that there was no support, but I think...
But y'all are still connected as a family.
We are definitely
All of
connected.
y'all are like, y'all love each other, which is true.
Yes.
But I'm just saying professionally.
Professionally, yes. Of course, there was a lot of competition back then and still we all do. But it's a matter of, how people embrace the situation. So even if I released a song, it would always come out as Umara from the BNS family or Umaria from the BNS family. So it's always been a tough battle for the two of us just because there's already some confusion out there. Some people think that we are twins. Some people think that we are one person with two different names. Some people get confused.
But with that being said, I think of course there's an association with BNS, but I've managed to step out of that. Now people know who Umaria is, people know who Umara is.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Eventually that happens, but that's also in the mindset of the people, but eventually, no, I don't think that was the case. It's just that I just needed a break. I just needed a complete break, and with all this confusion and all of that, I think the break that I took, most of the people don't support it because they say that I left at my peak, but there's a lot that goes on. People just think that we get
always
ourselves...
just see the stage, the setup, the lights, and the makeup. There's so much that's layered underneath. And as much as everyone is talented, this country is too talented for a small country. That's what I've always said. I think there should be 100 other shows like this running right now.
Exactly.
Because there's so much of talent to speak about. We're going to get into a break. When we do come back, we're going to speak more to these beautiful ladies on the other side, right here on Date with Danu. Sometimes the best way to get some publicity for this show is to make our guests update their status update. Let's see what they have to say about me. All right, so Umara, it's up to you to say whatever you like. Speak from the heart, my dear. But good news, just to follow up on where we were talking, her album is being worked on. It's going to be released, and I'm so happy. That song was one of my favorites. I heard it on repeat like 100 times. I told her that. Yeah, I should have been in that video.
But you were wearing red hatte?
No, I could have been the one who is there behind the tree.
Next one, for sure.
Swing and the one
For sure.
Tell. I wanted to ask you. Now, you type. What are you looking at? Does she like Ashanti School of Music as much as she likes Umari.
Yes,
Umara,
of
that's what
course.
She does.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
She has, that's not to you, no. I'm
She's my
asking.
boo.
The
Please.
thing is, there's a lot.
You
there's
didn't-
enough-
she has not poached any students from there.
Not at all. See,
Just want to, like, stir something up.
Just to give you a sense of what our mindset is like, there's enough
I'm
room
here now, I just want-
for everybody to coexist. And
I
we've
know.
been so supportive.
That is true.
So when people like even on Instagram or social media just ask me, is it any schools that you recommend? So I recommend my sister, obviously.
Yeah.
And
But
then
you
I recommend
also
Ashanti
recommend-
as well.
of course.
Exactly.
But one thing that I've seen is that y'all have always sung for each other and it has always been there. Now, you update really? What are you writing, child? I know I'm that special, but it doesn't need to be a book.
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I've come to you now.
Okay.
Now, in terms of your school, you have also taught them not only the fact of singing right, it's
Yeah.
also about performing, which is
Yes.
the hard part.
It is really hard.
How much would you give in terms of talent and how much would you give in terms of showmanship? What do you see?
I think it goes hand in hand. For me, I would go 50-50 because talent is anyway there. It's just about how they execute the best of their, their vocal capabilities, and then at the same time.
Facebook without typing anything.
No,
I'm
even I get into that zone, and that's what happened to me. So it's 50-50. Performance for me is very compulsory because what I believe is when we get on stage, that stage is ours, the audience is ours. So we have to understand the audience to grab them
Use
onto our
them
side.
to perform,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
All right. Now it's time to just go into what their social media is all about. WTFB right now on a date with Danu. Just have to dig into Facebook. It's always fun. Let's start off with all the good things first.
Ah, shit.
This was in France. I was supposed to be there, but I couldn't make it, unfortunately. But you look absolutely stunning. And Umara, you looked stunning in that white dress and the beautifully done hair. The whole family was dressed in white. It was stunning.
Yes, it was a white themed.
It was the most
Yeah.
beautiful wedding I have ever been to. Ever.
You've never been.
And that's
Better if you were there, but like,
that's my
it's a different-
little baby brother in that picture.
Me, yeah.
It's a academia.
Talk about this.
Oh no, not at all. That's like brother-sister love.
What is this? She's sniffing her ear.
And that's all, that's way before anything happened also. Like,
Be careful.
what's
me
his
see
face? Look at the face.
Who is this?
That's her and my
Really?
brother. Yeah.
That's you.
That's me.
You look like her when you're a baby.
Yeah, of course, same blood.
Oh gosh. Same
That's me
genes.
and my brother. We
But
this was in Switzerland.
how did you all work on your fashion today? Like, you all have really evolved because
my
from
God, a lot.
this.
Hey, look. I don't think. I don't. Okay, listen.
Look, at that point, I thought I was really cool.
Look at.
Oh my god, Buddhi! At least she looks okay.
Why
I
did she wear him in someone's apron?
It's not an apron.
I'm wearing an apron.
Eating an apple would have also been news, no, with y'all?
This is in Italy.
But why would you even put it up? It was a cover picture.
Look, it was long years ago. At that point, it was like, whoa, cool.
This was Umara's big day.
Yeah, oh my
Yeah.
god. I don't even have a shape, Danu.
And poor Umara is kicked to the back.
Look at our shape. He doesn't even have a beard.
He's so young. Tell me about this.
Oh my god.
Y'all look like Paranakot.
My God.
Y'all look like Paranakot here.
I was dressed
This
as an
was the-
Egyptian queen.
What was this? The harbour opening in
Opening of the
Hambantota.
harbour.
And
I
I'm
was
supposed to be
supposed to be-
African. She's supposed to be an Egyptian or whatever.
He's some Egyptian. Clearly not. We don't look like it at all.
But you know, where did y'all shop those days?
So many places.
So many places. Y'all think like y'all are like Whitney Houston here.
But Binti looks good, no?
Binti looks
Yeah,
fabulous.
I look hideous.
But
We came a long way, Danu. You know, like even this was like we've done.
you
our
look
own
good. You
class.
look
you
fine.
look fabulous here.
You look
though.
fine, sis. Don't worry.
But up in the clouds was a look, no, those days
Oh
for
my
wedding pictures. Y'all look.
So rude, man.
Y'all look like Care Bear countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh.
And this comment I'll not forget. Umara has written, "You'll always be my little sister. I love you, sis." That's her
Really?
comment to you on Facebook.
But it'll
for this.
never change, no?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And that
did,
was so many
I did
years
that.
ago, and it's wonderful that you all have such,
I did
such
say that.
a connection.
Thank you, Bimfi.
So from there, we have to get into one word. No hope, okay? Answer it in one go. All right, I'll start off with Umara. Do you feel your marriage has affected your stardom or career at any point?
No.
Do you think BNS were fair by you? Did they stop you from blossoming into a star of your own?
No.
Have you ever stolen any students from Ashanti School of Music
No.
to yours?
No.
If Phil T offers you $1 million to sing for his next track, only sing, would you?
Depends.
Just trying to be nice.
Natasha Ratnaika, Shermaine Willis, Nadine Samarasinger. Who would you book if you were doing a show and why?
Natasha Ratnaika, because I've known her for so long.
Umaria. If the studio was on fire and you could save only one, who will you save? Bhatia or Santosh?
Both.
One word.
If you can save only one,
One word.
How? What the hell? That's so
one word
unfair.
is fine. Who will you save? One. If you could only save, let me read the question.
That is
If
so
the
evil.
If the studio was on fire, if you could save only one person, who will you save? B or
Exactly.
S?
I'm saying that's such an evil question. How can I pick between the two?
Other will run by himself. Who will you
She'll
pick?
sacrifice herself. I think.
No, I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Pass.
It's not even an option. If you become internationally acclaimed, who will you pick to collaborate locally?
Umara Singh answer.
Describe Iraj Productions in one word.
Mastermind.
Do you feel that you are the blue-eyed girl of the BNS family?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, she answered that for me.
All right. Well, this is the time I wait to speak about my guests, and this is my chance to tell what I feel about them. To be honest, I've always loved these girls, and also the fact that, like, you can have a simple cup of tea with them and still feel so comfortable. The lights, the glamour, the fact that people adore them and love them, none of that has affected them, or it has never come in their way. They're as simple and as down to earth and as how they were when they were with their nappies on. And that's what's amazing about y'all. And I think you guys are yet to be discovered, and I think the world of music is missing what Sri Lanka has been blessed with. I think the two of y'all deserve so much more, but y'all are doing so much to entertain all of us. Otherwise, we have no reason to do that.
Cry, Danu. That's so
But
sweet.
genuinely, I love these two, and it's time that we say goodbye on Date with Danu. Thank you so very much for being here. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all. We will wrap things up. We will see you with another brilliant episode to Date with Danu right here on High TV, made possible by Lanka Bell. Until I see you then, you take care.